Welcome to another episode of my podcast. Today, I want to talk about something that maybe some other people can relate to, especially people who live in a place that sort of gets seasons. This is not necessarily for my folks on the East Coast who actually get summer, spring, winter, and fall. This is more so for my folks on the West Coast, particularly in California. There's something called springtime in California that maybe because we don't actually have legit seasons, springtime seems to show up with a vengeance. And right now we are in the middle of April and the weather has gone from being 90 degrees outside to being like 60 or 50 degrees outside. And what's also really great and wonderful about spring is that if you get your car washed, the next day you have a beautiful thin layer of pollen all over your vehicle. So it's almost like you never got it washed. In addition to that, there's this, you hear that nasally shit going on? Yeah, there's that part. What I can say for sure is that I live a pretty healthy lifestyle. I do my best to eat as frequently and as healthy as possible. I do my best to drink as much water as possible. I do my best to get some activity and exercise in some form at least once a day. So for the most part, we would say that I'm pretty healthy. I don't go to the doctor because I cannot stand the doctor. I rarely get sick. However, every year, like fucking clockwork, I get blasted with a freaking allergy attack. And what's crazy is that I've tried the holistic methods for allergy medicine. I've tried the oils, the salves, the tinctures, the this, the that. I even have some yoga practices, some pranayama, some breathing exercises that sometimes can help to relieve sinus pressure. But when I tell you, there is nothing like the vengeance of an allergy attack. Right now, I literally have tissue and snot rags stuffed in my pockets. I have been blowing my nose all day long, and I really just want it to stop. So anybody who has like a legit homeopathic, tried and true method of getting rid of some allergy symptoms, please feel free to let me know. You can find me on Instagram. You can send me a Facebook message. You can text me. You can send a telegram, a homing pigeon, whatever it is. If it's a secret family recipe, don't trip. I won't tell anybody. I won't take credit for it. If there is something that I need to ingest or something that I need to inhale, please tell me what it is, because allergies are a motherfucker. It's so difficult to think when you cannot breathe out of your nose. Oh my God. But nonetheless, I just had to get that out. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about something that's very, something that's very real for me. And I'm guessing that if anyone is listening to this, that there's probably a part of it that might be very real for you too. In this life, as we live it, as these spiritual beings having these human experiences, there are moments where we have to stop pushing, stop efforting, stop trying, and surrender. When I was a kid, my dad struggled with addiction and was, using drugs for the majority of my childhood. You'll probably hear me mention my dad a lot because he's actually a pretty cool ass dude. And I feel pretty blessed to have a father who is so committed to his children. But when I was a kid, he struggled with addiction. And one of the ways that he told his story once he was clean and sober was through music. He is a singer, he's a songwriter, he's a rapper. If there's an open mic, he gonna get on it. If there's a beat, he gonna rap. If there's not a beat, he gonna sing. And that's what he does. He's an artist, and I attest a lot of my creativity to him. When I was a kid and he was in rehab, he wrote a song called Surrender. And at the time, all I understood surrender to mean was like, I give up. Like I give up. I give up trying to fix this thing. I give up trying to change this thing. I just give up. And in his case, he was, giving it up to God, giving it up to his creator to say, I've tried everything to overcome this addiction. I give up. You got to figure it out, God. Figure it out. And I didn't really grasp the full concept. I think I was probably 11 or 12 years old at the time. But I knew that when he sang the song, he put, both hands up in the air like, I surrender. And it was really powerful to hear it even then. Now, as an adult, I understand what it means to say, you know what, God, you know what, Spirit, you know what, universe, Earl, whatever you call it, I give up. Not give up like I don't want it anymore. I give up as in I have tried everything that I can possibly think of to make this thing happen. I have to step away, take my hands off of the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. I surrender. Whatever that looks like for you. I think we can all say, we as in me, myself, and I, can say that that's something that we have to do on a regular basis, because this life that we live has its challenges. It has its ups and downs. There's those moments where you're like, oh my God, is everything going wrong at the same time? Is somebody playing a joke on me? Am I being punked? Did I do something wrong? Did I forget to do something right? Please, Jesus, Lord in heaven, help me. And what I can say is that right now, I'm in one of those spaces, as I've shared with you a couple of times on previous episodes or even episodes to come, that I am in a space of transformation, in a space of transition in my life. And I say that with all humility and vulnerability, without going into every single detail about what's going on. I'm in a space in my life where I've had to have those moments where I am like on bended knee, sitting in prayer position, even sitting in meditation, tears streaming down my face, where I am like, I surrender. I don't know what else to do. And I know you've had moments like that. If you're hearing this, I know you've had moments like that. And it is in those moments that we get the quietest. It is in those moments where the ego becomes silent. Because the way that we silence the ego is by surrendering, is by bringing the ego down to the ground and letting our heart lift up, opening ourselves up, allowing the beautiful messages, the divine downloads, the wisdom to come into our hearts, speaking in that still small voice that only we can hear when we surrender. That's where the answers come from. That's where we find the guidance. That's where we find our truth. That's where we get that extra push of motivation, that part that says, oh yes, I can do this. Oh yes, I do have the strength. Oh yes, I do have the ideas. Oh yes, I do have the resources. Oh yes, I know someone I can call to help this. Oh, that's right. I didn't think of doing it that way before. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that wisdom. And we can only get there through surrender. And keep in mind, you don't have to wait until the shit hits the fan to surrender. You can surrender every day. You can let go of something every day. Trust and believe that if there is breath in your lungs, there is probably something that you are carrying that no longer serves you. It could be a mindset, a habit, an attitude. It could be a person, a place, or a thing. No, this is not a lesson in grammar or phonics. But seriously, there's something. I tell this to my students all the time. There's something that you bring with you into each day. Something you need and something you can let go of. Something you can release and something you can surrender. And believe it or not, it is only when you surrender, it is only when you release, it is only when you let go that you actually create the space in your life for the universe to bless you abundantly. We all maybe not all, but I love Erykah Badu. Y'all like Erykah? I love Erykah. Hey, Erykah. You've heard the Bag Lady song, right? Bag Lady, you gonna hurt your back? Dragging all them bags like that? I guess nobody ever told you. All you must hold on to is you. You. I don't sing. Not today because I got allergies. I love that song. I actually quoted that song in my book because the idea of carrying baggage that is so heavy that you're literally breaking your back to hold on to it, not recognizing that the only thing that you need to hold on to is you. And the you that is really you is that beautiful spirit, that light, that love, that pure positive energy that just waits for you to reach in and connect with it. And sometimes the only way that you can reach in and connect is to surrender. That's the only way. There's no book, there's no class, there's no nothing that will tap you in, that will get, Jesus on the main line, as opposed to the hotline, which is what I always thought. They were saying Jesus had a hotline, and I was like, what is the number? Is it an 888? Is it a 997? Is it an 877? What is the hotline for Jesus? Where is it, y'all? FYI, you gonna hear me refer to a whole lot of spiritual humans. You're gonna hear me refer to a lot of ascended masters because I have studied them all, and I feel a very powerful connection to the teachings of Christ, to the teachings of Buddha and Siddhartha, to the Bhagavad Gita, to a little bit of everything, y'all. So if it connects with you, woo woo, clap your hands, wave your fingers, pass the collection plate if you'd like. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's all good. Tap the share button and send it to somebody who it does resonate with. But nonetheless, I just had to get on and share something with you guys because I have a little story, just a short one. So I'm what you call a person of many skills, a jack of all trades, as they say. And there's a phrase that says, if you're a jack of all trades, then you're a master of none. I disagree with that, because what I recognize is that I do have many skills, and each one of them serves me in a different way. For instance, when it comes to the way that I make a living, I teach yoga and meditation. I'm also a writer. I'm now a podcaster. I also provide other services that people find valuable. And one of the services I provide is assisting people with clearing clutter. Not a housekeeper, because I don't do that. But assisting people with clearing clutter out of their home. Things that collect, that don't necessarily have any value other than possibly sentimental, is something that I help people do as a way of clearing space in their life to create space to invite the things that they really, really want. Part of that process is teaching my clients about the importance of surrender. And it's a beautiful experience, not only for me as the person facilitating, but for the client as well. It's a very challenging experience too, because surrender requires the release of control. And that's very hard for some people, myself included. Releasing control? What? Take my hands off the wheel? Huh? Let the universe handle it for me? I don't know if I could do that, but I have to. And the truth is, when I do, there's an immediate sensation of release. There's an immediate manifestation of exactly what I want. The ideas just come pouring in without me even having to think. It just happens. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm going to leave you with the serenity of surrender is the most beautiful experience. When you're in the midst of a fucking shitstorm of stress, a tidal wave of terror. I was really trying to be like super dope with that. When you're in the midst, You know what that feels like when you're stressed, when your jaws are clenched, when your brow is furrowed, when your heart is pounding and you're like, what do I do in this moment? Take a deep breath. Sigh it out. Say to yourself, say to the universe, say to God, I surrender in this moment and trust that all that is coming to me comes for my highest and greatest good. And in this moment, I am open and willing to receive. That's it. Peace, y'all. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This prayer, this offering, this request for serenity, for peace, is one that many have probably said or heard at some time in their lives. And it is when we offer that prayer that we open ourselves up. We lay our burdens down, as they say. We surrender our heart, we surrender our head, and we allow ourselves to be free. Peace. It's time to wrap this up, and I just want to say very sincerely thank you. You have your choice of thousands of different podcasts that you could be listening to each day, and I appreciate you for choosing this to be one of them. Right now, in this moment, I see the light, I see the love, the wisdom, the beauty, the prosperity, the creativity, and the pure joy that shines within each of you, and I bow humbly before your divinity. Namaste.